Should I invest in Monaco property? I traveled to Monaco to meet with a property expert, Florian Valéri, to find answers to my questions. What are the best areas and properties to invest in Monaco? What is the potential income and tax liability? And most importantly, does it make sense to invest in property in Monaco?
Yes, definitely. Two main reasons, according to me. One of the main reasons is due to the political regime. We are in a constitutional monarchy, which gives to the country stability in terms of all the political decisions and in terms of fiscality as well, which is really important for any kind of investors. Second reason is because we are living on such tight territory with 2 kilometers squared. The supply is really low. We don't have many properties. Some of the properties are only reserved for Monegasque passport holder, which even restrict the number of properties available, and that's one of the reasons why the prices are so high. However, even if the price per square meter are really high, we're talking about in average 53,000 per square meter, there are still margin to increase the prices because more and more people want to relocate here in Monaco for different reasons, and the demand has always been so high. So if we look over the last 10 years, the market went up about 60% in terms of value, and there is no doubt that this raise will continue in the next years.
What kind of returns can I expect?
Depending, if you're living in your apartment with the capital gain, you can expect in average per year about 5% increase on the value of the asset. If it's rented, depending what kind of assets you will invest in, if we are talking about residential properties, commercial properties, offices, and depending as well of the standing of the property, you can expect up to 2%, 3% of rental yield that comes obviously in addition of the capital gain.
Does commercial or residential property generate a high return on investment?
I will say it's the commercial property. So on one side, that's the one which gives you the best rental yield, but on the other side is the one that tends to increase a bit slower than the residential property. So that's really a matter of what's your priority.
What are the best areas and residences in Monaco to invest in?
If we are talking about the best location in Monaco, we have the area around the public beach, who is called the Larvoto. We have some buildings such as the 21 Princess Grace, La Réserve. You have all the Golden Square, which is around the Casino Square. So we have like some buildings such as Papalins, Montaigne, Petite Afrique, Sun Tower. Another district that is completely different but tends to be more and more requested, it's Fontvieille. And in Fontvieille you have luxury buildings such as the Seaside Plaza, where we stand now, or Terrasse du Port, which is the building next door.
Does it make sense to flip properties in Monaco?
Yes, it makes sense, like in, I think, any countries. Here, the advantage is that most of the buildings were delivered between the 50s and the 70s. So now they are starting to be a bit out age and they need definitely some renovation. There is room to do big renovation. Also, like the expectations of the buyers has changed over the last years. So we see like new taste in terms of decoration, new priority in terms of layout. Like if I give you a concrete example, in the past all the kitchen were obviously separated from the living. Nowadays most of the people like to have the kitchen inside the living because that's where they like to spend their time, and they like to share their time with people sitting probably in the sofa just in front. So this is like new habits that gives also some new possibilities to the professionals that are renovating the apartments. Since the value itself of the asset is so high, you can afford to spend a substantial amount in work. So here we are talking about 1,500 per square meter to do like really entry-level renovation. Average renovation is going to be around 2,500 in terms of cost, and if you want to do like nice standing, obviously we're going to be closer to 5,000 per square meter, sometimes even higher, depends on the materials that you're going to use. Compared to the total price of the acquisition, we are talking probably about 5-10% of the general value, which gives a lot of room to play with, and the request is there. So if you're doing the right things at the right place, It's just a matter of months before you will sell it.
If you like my videos and want to support me, please like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Is it possible to invest in new build properties in Monaco during the planning or construction stages?
Yes, we have some important developments ongoing. The most well-known is the Sea Extension. This new district is going to be called Maretera. It's right below the Casino of Monte-Carlo. It's going to be only 112 units, only big size. The smallest apartment is 300 square meter. And there are some villas as well with a couple of thousands of square meter expected to be delivered in 2025. We have also the Bay House project, which is just a bit further above the public beach and above the Monte-Carlo Bay Hotel. Same thing, big size apartments, in average between 200 to 500 square meter, will be delivered in 2025. After we have some more like middle range developments in other districts such as the Villa Ninetta in the Jardin Exotique. This will be delivered probably in 2026. You can find all sizes of apartments and there are other projects that will come out in the next months. But I will say currently that's probably the three most important developments that are for sale in Monaco.
What increase in property value can you expect if you invest on plans?
It's hard to answer your question because there is no rule. It depends of the potential of the building. It depends also of the evolution of the demand during the time of the construction. I will say that in average, when you buy off plan, if you hold the assets until the delivery, so the average delay is going to be probably around 3 years, 4 years, you probably can expect at least 20% uplift. And the big advantage is that obviously when you buy off plan, you don't have to pay the full amount because the funding of your apartment will follow the schedule of the construction. And sometimes you can even resell the agreement that you had that was signed in front of a notary before the delivery of the building. So you can uplift of 20%, sometimes more, and you didn't had to basically fund the overall cost of the acquisition, which makes the ratio even higher in terms of return on investment. Another advantage also is that the registering taxes is much lower. So total we are talking about 2.5%. That includes the notary fees as well as the registering tax for the state, instead of 6% on the second-hand markets.
In what property is more profitable to invest, in primary or secondary?
Both scenarios can be interesting. If we look at the new developments, it has some advantages that I already explained before. Also, there is no risk attached to such an investment because all the developers in the past completed their construction. It can sound strange, but not everyone has an insurance that will guarantee the delivery of the building because they don't see the benefit of it and they don't want to spend for that money because all the developments in the past reached the end. This is also because most of the properties dedicated for sale in the new developments are sold much ahead before the delivery because there is a high demand. And obviously by investing in such a property, you can expect to have at the end of the delivery an important margin on the price that you basically agreed at the beginning. On the second-hand market, you can also make good deal. You will in general need to hold the assets a couple of years before you return on your investment and you amortize the cost of the acquisition. But keep in mind, since the market is rising every year, if you hold it a couple of years, you are sure that you will cover the cost of the acquisition and you will cash out with a profit, and it depends also of the evolution of the area, the evolution of the building and other factors, but both can be interesting.
Does it make sense to buy a small apartment or a studio in Monaco, renovate it and rent it out?
I will say it depends on your budget, but there is no bad investment in real estate in Monaco. If you can afford, I always say it's better to buy smaller, but in good building, in good location. It's a safer investment, and if you need to rent out or if you need to resell, it's going to be quicker and it's just going to be a matter of price. If you buy in a studio or in a one-bedroom apartment in Monaco, today the entry ticket, I will say, is around €1 million, and it can go up to 3-4 million for a studio. For a one-bedroom apartment, the ticket, minimum ticket will be probably around 1.5 million, up to 5-6 million for the best properties. You can rent it out. It's easy to rent. But the rental yield in Monaco is not the more interesting, because in average, depending the standing of the building, you will be between 1.5 and 2% net. More you go high in standing, less you will have in rental yield, but it's safe assets and liquid assets if you need to resell it.
If I bought a property in Monaco as a foreigner, rented it out for a couple of years and then sold it with a profit, do I have to pay tax on it?
In general, no. There is no tax on rental and no tax on the profits that you will make after reselling a property. But you have to make sure with your nationality and your country of residency that there is no bilateral convention, fiscal convention between two countries that will say specific rule. So if I give you an example, a straight example, the French people living in France, when they buy in Monaco, the cost of the assets will be included in the wealth tax of the French system. The rental that you're gonna earn will also come into your wealth and be taxed on as a revenue. And when you make a profit on reselling it, this is gonna be also taxed in France. After, there are specific conditions with each countries, but 99% of the time, if the people are from any other nationality and resident in Monaco, or sometimes even resident in other countries, there is absolutely no tax to pay.
So, do you want to invest in property in Monaco? Any further questions? Please write in the comments. And if you need Florian and me to help you find a property in Monaco, feel free to message me on WhatsApp or Telegram. All my contacts are below. And like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you won't miss anything exciting in the future. That's it for today, and I look forward to seeing you in Monaco.